Hi guys, and welcome to 7th Street Productions audio commentary for If These Walls Could Talk. In a few seconds here, I'm going to have you go ahead and pause this video so that you can link it up perfectly with the Kings of Horror release of If These Walls Could Talk. So go ahead and pause this video in 3, 2, 1, pause. Hi guys, welcome to the audio commentary for 7th Street Productions, If These Walls Could Talk. I am the writer-director, Calvin Moria McCarthy.
And I am Joshua Robert Dietrich. I help produce this film.
Alright, well here we go.
Oh man, shooting this was awful. This day was ungodly hot.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
I remember having to come in and out of the garage and just try to cool it off with a fan. Everybody was...
Christopher, can you help with the groceries?
And then this scene was shot... This is the first stuff that we shot, really. Other than the B-roll that I went and got. Marcella's
She's the best.
one of our favorites to work with, definitely. She was in Three Flies in a Widow's Web, which is another film of ours made the year before this. I think less than a year actually when we shot her scenes.
Really can't say enough good things about Marcella. She's so much fun to work with, and she does not mess around.
Yeah, I've known her for a long time. I mean, I met her through Steve Coker and John Hall, who is also in Three Flies in a Widow's Web. But I've known her forever.
Shout out John.
Yeah, shout out to John Hall. But then we worked with Marcella with Sam.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
and we kind of reconnected
damn.
with Marcella that way. Sam,
that's why I first met her.
Sam Morris, yeah. He was
woof.
running a little production studio, I guess.
You can call it that, yeah. It was fun.
It was fun.
That's why I learned to work with the camera, at least. It was run and gun, and really got to see how not to run a production is kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of things people can forget. And so, I mean, we're by no means perfect, but we try to improve on each shoot, you know. Make sure no one dies, you know, just little things.
Chris.
And I remember it being pretty hot this day, too.
Yeah, you lucked out being in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the suicide, the aftermath of the suicide, which we hope kind of would catch people's attention here on Kings of Horror. You know, I know that when I watch video on demand, I usually watch the first 10 minutes, and if it's just not grabbing me, I'll move on. So right at the 3-minute mark, there's a literal bloodbath.
Yeah. It was Wes Craven who said that you should, start with a bang, or is that...
Yeah. Kind of kicking people in the teeth right away.
Just because we're totally like Wes Craven. Axis of Evil. I like how this made to the final cut. That was my favorite part of when I saw it, this getting posted. I was like, yes!
It's just a bullshit. Yeah. I mean, it's not even a real
it
film
is,
company.
though. It is. I think it needs to be in everyone now.
Yeah, it's kind of our alias.
Yeah.
7th Street Productions and Axis of Evil.
That's when Natalie joined the team.
Yeah. It's Axis of Evil because Josh Dietrich is German, Natalie Lucia is Italian, and I'm a quarter Japanese. My dad's half Japanese, so we thought Axis of Evil was...
And ironically, now those countries are probably way better off.
Yeah.
We're on our own Axis of Evil, but that's for another time, another day.
And this opening, I actually was shooting other stuff. I was shooting montages with tarot cards. We even tried to do some stuff with pictures, because in the script it's a montage of family photos, and Josh and I tried to shoot that, and it just did not work. And then I had the macro lens, actually a telephoto lens, so it was an even cheaper way of doing the shot, but just decided to do this close-up of the candle and change the color of the flame, and I just remembered this story from your frat.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Oh, man. Getting hazed is always fun. Shout out to frats, I guess. No, I was an interesting part of just life. You're young and you got all these people older than you telling you got to do X, Y, and Z, and staring at a candle for 6 hours. That was one of the fun parts. Really learned a lot.
Looks like we might be starting to lose battery power on this. It's down to 2. We can always pause it and get another battery in there. Just gotta keep an eye on it.
And this song is wild. Who gave you this?
This was just Creative Commons, which is copyright-free music and footage through Vimeo, and they just have a bunch of really great stuff on there, and he's credited in or at least his Creative Commons name is in the credits. It's just kind of gibberish, but he had this song called The Haunted Hotel, and it felt perfect. Just kind of fit right in.
It was creepy.
Here's Brian Maurice and Laura Welsh, the star. And Laura's one of my favorite people to work with that we work with here in Portland. We had her on board for Three Flies in a Widow's Web as well. I think actually you had tried to cast somebody else. And
I no fault of my own, because I wish I could hire everybody. I don't remember what it was. I think maybe it was scheduling. Because anyway, nonetheless, that was the best decision I never made. And Laura's fantastic. She is easily one of the reasons I continue to make movies.
I think it was her birthday.
It was her birthday first time
we
we
were
worked
shooting.
with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gave her asked what she wanted for her birthday. We got her some booze that night.
Yeah, didn't we all do shots?
Martini shot, yeah.
Yeah.
We actually did shots after martini shot. I was really proud of that.
Yeah.
It's one of my crowning moments in film history.
And then I had always wanted to use her again. I was working on a little short script, just kind of outlining it. And then nothing really ever came from that, and I started writing this script. And just had Laura in mind right away. Also had Brian Maurice and Elise in mind right away. And Eric there, who just came in with the box. He's listening to the music on his headphones. He's great. He's another one from Sam.
Yeah.
He's another one from Sam Morris.
Yeah.
He's great. I mean, I know we're doing this commentary, and I don't want to make anyone mad, but I think he's like my favorite performance in the whole film. I think that
we're just such good friends too already. That it's that he has to, in this film, he plays such a dork, and
it was such a nothing
so much
character. I mean, I wrote him as just, well, it can't just be 3 people, and then
he turned into such a dynamic character.
And then we just didn't want to get rid of him.
Started adding scenes for him too. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, we added a whole scene for just him because we just love working with him.
Yeah.
Love working with all these people. Brian Maurice is really good. He was someone who I found actually through another friend of ours, Stephen Jackley, who was doing a script read that we were all doing, and Brian Maurice showed up late, and I was reading for his part until he showed up, and then I thought that he was really good. He brought a lot of energy to a script read, which is not something that you usually see, so he just seemed so interested.
I mean, we're so laid back. Our script reads are usually, I don't know how to describe them, laid back.
Yeah.
So when he came in there really trying to trying to kill it, I was all right. We gotta step up and see what this could potentially look like, and it was awesome.
And then Elise Vosmark is the other one who we'll go back to her. But we've known Elise forever now.
Poor gal, she's been in all of our things so far, pretty much.
I mean, she's even been in our 72-hour horror film festival film.
When she goes on to work with like Coppola or Scorsese, she will not mention us. We put her through some shit.
Yeah, Elise is
Don't
great.
mention us, Elise. We love you though.
She's allergic to tomatoes, which always makes craft service interesting.
I'm sure she gets it all the time, but there's been a few times we've almost killed her, but not on purpose.
Yeah.
Sometimes for the movie's sake, but usually it's because of craft service.
This is Elise here in the goth makeup, which was not written. It was at the table read that we decided to dress her up like a character she played in a different film. And I think that she's wearing almost the exact same costume that she wears in.
Bedtime Scaries?
No, it's a Jason Hawkins film. It's Gravestone. But she had this costume, and we were just kind of talking about what she should look like, and she's just kind of was just kind of written as like kind of a Valley Girl type person, and then thought it would be funny. I said, I think the movie's called Suicide Pact. Just said, do you still have that costume?
Yeah. We actually shot this in my apartment at the time. That was exciting.
Yeah. This was actually Josh Dietrich's apartment.
I know.
That's how he got the producer credit.
Yeah. No, it's crazy how much, even though we don't have a huge budget, like what all we had to do to just get this done within. I mean, how many days did we shoot?
I think it was 2 weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it was 6 days right up front.
So less than 9 days.
Less than 9 days, because then the stuff with Marcella was the second day, and then pickups. This stuff, I mean, I remember when we went and got stuff like this. I got some of this type of stuff on my own, and then we did a pickup day with Eric, and a pickup day with Brian, but those were like little scenes. They weren't full days, but for the most part,
it was pretty minimal.
I would say about 7 to 8 full days.
That's actually a cameo. That CD is the first... The first album I ever made, first album I probably will ever make.
Yeah. Your old band
from high school was pretty cool.
Juvenile Court.
Yeah, we're not on probably not on MySpace anymore. I don't know if there's a Facebook.
Oh yeah, I guess it probably exists somewhere
in the clouds.
And I think we got Natalie to write the note.
All of us have really shitty handwriting now, so it was.
And there's me.
Yeah.
There's me, director, cameo. I'm also the dead brother in the beginning, I guess. Forgot to mention that.
He's not dead in this scene, though, as you can tell.
Yeah, flashback.
Yeah. This is pre...
And this is outside your dad's house,
right? It is
right?
outside my dad's house, yeah.
He had that really cool little bench right there. I mean, it was just, like, perfect.
Yeah, we always, like, I don't know, lots of... green grass and have a garden. I've always had that, like a pond out front, so I thought it was pretty picturesque, and that's probably a good memory. Yeah. She probably would have thought back to, and not him bleeding and stuff. And I had to make sure that Calvin did one pocket dolly shot. Yeah, that's always his go-to.
There are a couple. Yeah, there are a couple in there.
It's up to me. Every movie would just be shot on roller skates. But
yeah,
that's all you need.
It adds a little bit of production value. I mean, we always get quite a bit of coverage when we're working, I mean, I always try to shoot kind of like in a cube, You want to shoot from all angles, top and bottom, right? Just cover yourself. Because I edit too, and sometimes with bigger projects, I would rather take more time getting, more shots, even if they don't look the best, just so I have something to cut to or a different way of cutting the scene. Because no matter what, when you're cutting a movie, you find yourself saying, God, I wish I had something else. I wish there was something else to cut to here.
You just don't get the opportunity to go back to these scenes. You don't have the luxury of going back.
This is one of my favorite moments there, actually. The Dark Man and the lighting. I love the blue lighting. The colors in this, I think, ended up working out fairly well. I mean, it's not, great by any means, but, we're learning all the time. It seems to consistently get better.
I hope so.
Yeah. Old door scare. And this music here is done by Ben Eastman, a really, really good friend of both of ours. He's a really talented filmmaker, really talented director, and good with music.
Yeah.
He did all the music for some short films that I am like have been in his last two films.
I don't think there's anything Ben can't do. He's kind of the whole package.
Yeah, he really does a good job. Yeah, and he just kind of came up with these little piano melodies, and I just really like subtle or simple music, I mean, that's always what I cut to music, There's always music that's not in the film that I'm listening to at the time that I cut with. Try to cut in a rhythm. And here's Pierce.
Pierce wearing the Kappa Sigma sweatshirt.
Yeah, wearing Josh's frat house
t-shirt.
Make sure
he was big as asshole as possible.
Yeah. And he's the boom mic operator for most of the film. He didn't do sound for the pickup days and the last day. I think he was on set for 5 days. But Pierce is really talented guy and
had with him since Sam too.
Yeah, met him through Sam Morris.
Like a unintentional Justice League.
Yeah. And Pierce, I think he let it slip sometime during Three Flies that he wanted to be an actor originally. And I wrote that scene for him. I think I also had somebody else in mind. I think actually Josh was also. I think you were consideration.
Yeah, pretty much
for that
avoid
part.
being on screen at all costs because two things will happen. One, it'll take.
And there's Zach.
There's Zach. He.
Zach is the demon, which is great.
See, he's not creepy. A great person that. Yes, he should get into acting. I should never be on the other side of the camera.
Yeah, Zach definitely deserves more roles. I mean, he's more than just a makeup guy, and whenever we need somebody in makeup costume, I mean, he'll do it on himself and play the part, and he deserves. But he's been in he was in Three Flies. He's the swamp monster. He's
see a lot of Zach in another short we did.
Yeah, we did a short for an anthology that will hopefully be coming out soon called Spunk's Not Dead. A bunch of really, really talented filmmakers are a part of that.
Somehow we got on that list.
Yeah, somehow we got on that. And you see a lot of Zach as a naked dead body in Spunky Shine. So definitely, if you're listening to this commentary track, start asking about Spunk's Not Dead.
Yeah.
Try and generate some buzz for that, because we've got a hell of a short for you guys in there.
It's got everything someone could ever want in 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Does it come a little longer than 15 minutes or about 12?
I guess we should keep talking about
this movie,
film.
Yeah.
This movie that we made.
It's a good movie too.
Starting to lose a little bit of battery power here. May have to pause and get a new battery, but you guys won't know the difference. I'm really wondering how people are syncing this up.
Have it go boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Play.
Yeah, or I'll have stop the video now and play. I'm sure you guys have already figured this out. Obviously, you're gonna have to open up 2 windows, watch it on Kings of Horror, and then have this playing underneath it.
This is when Laura gets drunk on mouthwash.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a
hell of an alcohol problem.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
That's Josh's shot. Josh insisted that was in the movie. And
I said, nope, no more. We got cut right here. We need some Calvin in the shower.
Yeah. And I think that may have been the last of like the principal production in your in your apartment. I think that was the last thing that we shot.
It was so nice. It was like sometimes around location it gets too hot, you get too cold, but now we had all those lights going. Just good old time.
Yeah.
Middle of summer, everyone else was melting outside. We were chilling.
Yeah, the biggest thing about this film that was the hardest to do was editing the audio. The audio gets kind of funky here and there, just because we had just some issues in post a little bit with this film.
I would say it was really exhausting. Like just how we had the shooting schedule. I mean, I couldn't imagine doing that for like a whole month. Just being on set. I mean, it's a whole other animal. And I like doing pre-production. Cal's really good at post-production. The whole production part.
Yeah.
It can be really
actually
really
shooting the movie is just it's tough. It's a lot of just wrangling people around, especially for such a small production. I mean, our 7th Street Productions is really 3 people at most that are really actually running the show, and then we have some actors and we have some crew guys that we hire, but we don't really require anybody to do any work. So I mean, there's really they're doing their job, but we don't require them to do the other things that are our responsibility, and we really just do all that stuff. I mean, Josh is also the caterer.
I'm always making sure there's grub there.
Josh would cook and do all that shit, and we're sort of shameless that way, where just because we have, the producer and director credits, we still do
everything.
We do all the dirty work, I mean.
So be a PA on our set is what we're trying to say, because we won't make you do anything.
Yeah.
Or as much. We do a lot of crazy shit too. That fucking picture frame.
Yeah. Girls' night out.
Girls' night out with her cat, and she might be 12 years old. It was just perfect.
And I had Laura send me all those pictures of her when she was a kid.
Yeah.
For the original opening that never happened. And then we tried to put them in the apartment. But you don't really notice them, and I think I still have all these printed out pictures of Laura.
It's a little weird if, I don't have a bunch of pictures of myself all over my house, because I kind of know what I looked like.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to my parents to keep those records, but, it was kind of hard to... Like, what does your house look like when you move in? Besides just shit. So, there wasn't one right answer.
This was a pickup day.
Yeah.
You can tell my hair's a lot longer.
So you wanted Calvin to go full pickle for that scene, but I think it's fairly...
I really was naked, though.
Yeah, he
in
was.
the tub. I really was.
Full method.
Yeah. Why not, I always really liked the lighting in this shot. It was just kind of serendipitous that
moonlight.
Way. Just kind of happened. We definitely didn't have the skill to know what we were getting, I mean, it was really just sort of luck.
I mean, this is a shot we almost do in every
we always try to get a tracking shot of someone going from standing to sitting or I know it's a good
transition. Yeah, it's just a good transition, because that at least in both contexts they're kind of losing their shit,
right?
And I know if you have a nervous breakdown to some degree, you want to sit down and cover your head because you feel like you've lost it.
was all stuff that I got before we even started shooting anything. There's Natalie. Yeah.
Pretty crazy buildings in Vancouver.
I had a whole opening title sequence edited to this with this really funky 70s music in it, just kind of showing like grungy industry and you know, factories and mills and smokestacks and stuff like that, and really wanted
Catastrophe 1999.
Yeah, I was really trying to do this, like, you know, trying to show this city that this girl lives in as being really grungy, and it just didn't play. I mean, from the beginning, I mean, I think the first person that I showed it to was my dad, and I think he said it doesn't really do anything for me, you know. Because it's not a movie about the environment or anything like that, you know. Yeah. It doesn't have any sort of environmental message.
Well, the candle is one way to create anxiety or like kind of a claustrophobia of sorts.
Right.
And it was like just another way to build tension. So there's never one right answer. There's just an answer you end up having at the end that stays. But
you know, and you know, the movie does open with a close-up of a candle as well. I mean, it's sort of a running theme with the psychic. You know, she always has these candles. So, it sort of fit in. It's funny, you might have a hard time recognizing Laura in our last film just because she had bleach blonde hair. Yeah. And in this she has this kind of strawberry. Yeah. And it's funny because I pictured her with blonde hair. I think I still do, yeah. I just sort of picture her with blonde hair.
Yeah, it's always funny seeing Elise, too. She does so much...
She's
in
everywhere.
The industry that you're like, oh, shit, that is her. What? Yeah. That's a crazy wig, and what do they got going on here? It's always nice seeing her.
You know, Elise is fucking everywhere. Yeah. I star in a web series called Danny is a Psycho, and she's in that, and she's arguably the funniest character in that. I mean, she's everywhere. Everybody hires Elise. The halfway point here. Yeah. Pause it and put in a new battery. That tank top.
Oh, I'm wearing it right now as we speak.
Yeah, Josh is actually wearing that tank top. It's funny. I have one somewhere.
Yeah.
But that comes back from Bedtime Scares. It's in Bedtime Scares.
Sure is. It's probably one. I mean, it's gonna be in every movie ever.
Yeah. Was it? I don't think it popped up in Three Flies. Or wait, no. Was Eric wearing it in the bedtime scenes?
He fucking was. I made sure he wore that too.
Eric is wearing that.
Unfortunately, like Laura wears this tank for a lot of the movie.
Yeah. We had bad costume choice. Yeah. We probably should have put her in something else.
I mean, it's corny as hell, but that's why I think it's funny, you know? There's someone really might like that silly shirt that says, "Please don't make fun of me. I was only trying to flirt with you." And then the name of a bar in Seattle.
Yeah. Our first sort of producer, I mean, the first person to ever give us any money to make a film.
Besides our parents. But I mean, they never... invested, you know, they just help raise us, but...
Yeah, he owns a bar in Seattle, and...
Check it out.
Gave Josh a couple of bucks for us to shoot.
That's what really got us off the ground, yeah.
Bedtime Scaries, which, I feel bad. I mean, we just didn't know what we were doing. We were so young, and just didn't know anything about anything other than, you know, I sort of knew how to make a movie, but, you know, other than that, it's pretty dreadful. You can find it. It's
out
there.
You waste money on, though. There's like, it's I mean, I couldn't imagine having a bajillion-dollar budget for anything, but there's just things that, you know, not to cut corners, but like, oh, I don't need to do that, or
right.
We don't need to have 3 pizzas a person for the 3rd dinner on the 5th day, or like whatever. Like, you know, you just gotta be smart, and you're not always smart when you're a little kid.
Yeah, that's true. The movie exists, though. It's definitely out there. Bedtimescaries.com.
Yeah, it's the only film that is not for free.
Yeah.
Actually, some pirates.
I think it's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's definitely on YouTube. Someone has definitely pirated it for some reason. Bless their soul.
Here's Josh here in a second. Him and Dayton Brown, who's dating my sister. He's also the guy in the Dark Man, the shadow person.
Yeah. Slender physique.
He had a slender physique, and him and I played City League basketball together, and he's really athletic, and he was agile.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
I would look like a Danny DeVito in that. You would have been like, did they hire the Penguin? So that's another great, I mean...
I'm the Viper. I'm here to vipe the window.
Yeah. That's what I would look like in that. And this scene was horrific to shoot.
Oh, this is hot.
We decided to shoot it on the surface of the sun.
Yeah.
And it was just a hot day.
This is actually shot
in a
outside,
car. In my car.
Yeah, in Josh's car. And also...
The Mystery Machine.
Right outside of... office where I used to work.
Yeah.
We just kind of showed up, and really I should have snuck in and shot more.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing would have happened to me, and now I don't work there anymore. It's kind of sad. Yeah, fuck them.
No, I mean, I don't know how they both look so good when I'm sure everyone was sweating bullets.
Yeah,
it was horrific.
Yeah, it was a hot summer day. Just trying to make sure that this thing is still recording.
Yeah.
Got the headphones on. This is Shireen Jacobs. And she's the first person to actually... I hope I'm saying her name right. She's the first person to show up in the film, actually, because it opens with her picking up a tarot card. And... yeah, I mean, she's sort of here to explain what's going on, you know. As a psychic, I guess she can recognize that it's what the entity is, right? Because Laura, at this point, is pretty convinced that it is her dead brother that's trying to contact her.
Yeah, it was interesting trying to pick really a vehicle.
Yeah.
For Laura to, like, or something for Laura to attach to that will kind of be like a voice of reason, I guess.
Yeah.
And we went back and forth, but at the end of the day, Calvin really was like, you know, this psychic I really felt for. I know who I want to cast.
And that's really what it came down to, and knowing how to do it. I mean, there would have been better ways, I guess, to do it as far as getting, you know, someone to play like a psychiatrist type of character, but... I mean, we had kind of devised a very low-budget way of shooting this sort of, you know, different plane of existence that the psychic exists on, right?
Because this could be a dream, you know, to some extent. You know, she could be having, this could be...
Right.
You know, because we don't really, we establish it, but everything's up for interpretation.
I just really liked the psychic kind of being, you know, on her own, in her own realm, you know. I mean, there's nothing there. How big or small is the room that she's in? You know, she just kind of has these tapestries hanging from nothing. You know, I really wanted to make this film sort of as like a PG-13 horror movie for teenage girls. I mean, kind of was the focus. Don't ask me why. I that's just kind of where I started writing the script at, trying to make something for teenagers.
Yeah.
Kind of a Scooby-Doo kind of mystery.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really a...
Homeboy is riding his motorcycle outside. Just hear that. So, yeah, we're just recording this in a living room off of a Zoom H1. So, you probably hear us drinking our shandies.
Yeah. Any more shandies left?
I think there's a little bit.
Just the tip. I'll get you. Director, you stay put.
I really like this music cue coming up here with the traffic and everything moving through. This was all part of that opening that I was talking about. But this little musical cue here is actually from Arjuna Dingman, who's really another really talented guy. AJ. If you go to our YouTube channel, you can watch our 72-hour film festival film starring Arjuna as kind of like this Walking Dead ripoff character, and he's great. He's so much fun to watch.
These people are just delirious.
Yeah. This little faux coffee shop that we shot. Not even a faux coffee shop. I guess it just is where it really is. You know, it doesn't really matter where they
place
have
to drink coffee. It's actually we were shooting this a month before the new Ghostbusters came out. I guess it won't be forever the new one. I don't know if they'll ever make a sequel, God forbid. But yeah, it was weird. It was really weird. It was back in the spotlight again.
Yeah,
it's always been there, but Ghostbusters plays a huge part of my.
And then Ghostbusters and Ghost Hunters. You know, I watched Ghost Hunters on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Hell yeah!
Quite a bit. I watched that shit religiously. I don't believe in ghosts or anything like that, but I'm super interested. I mean, I definitely want them to be real, you know. Just like I would want aliens and the Loch Ness Monster to be real.
Xenomorphs? Yeah. Well, I'm just all aliens, and I'm not biased towards any one alien. Speaking of crazy things from another planet, Eric comes in this scene just coming in hot, looking like such a gomer. And we had told him about the sunglasses and the hair, and he's like, "No, we're keeping it. We look good." Because I actually knew he was a huge fan of Ghostbusters as well.
He's so funny. He just brings so much energy.
We were able to get a lot done and still have fun. That's kind of a awesome reason to work with somebody.
Yeah. I think you can catch a little bit of a reflection there in his glasses. There it is for IMDb. Somebody go put that as a goof on IMDb right now.
That's the first time I've seen it, though. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. I'm sure you're watching on a bigger TV. It's just fucking there.
Yeah, I imagine most people are probably watching this on their computer. Most people do. I mean, Mike, we are watching it on a computer. It's just hooked up to the TV.
Yeah.
Actually, this Zoom H1 that Eric is using right here in this scene for ghost hunting is the Zoom H1 that we are recording this audio commentary on right now.
Not those headphones, though.
Yeah. I don't know what... I think he stole those.
He might... You know what?
I think he stole those from us.
You can keep them. You can keep them.
And shout out to Kings of Horror. It's been a little bit... This is coming a little bit late in the audio commentary, but shout out to them for creating such a cool platform for movies to get released. You know, I'm such a big fan of VOD. You know, I have a big VHS and DVD collection, but I think that VOD it's definitely the way of the future. Netflix and everything. I mean, it's changed the game. It's definitely how things should be watched.
And they've given us a platform for people to watch it. So, I mean, if you've never met us and this is how you meet us, then I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I don't think we've talked about making the movie really much at all.
Yeah.
Just kind of rambling.
That's all right.
But we're sitting back, drinking a shandy, and
just enjoying the hot summer day inside.
Yeah. There's that zoom.
Yep. My mother actually made that picture behind her.
Yeah, we left it down. It just looked nice.
So it looks like she just moved in, right? She hasn't figured it all out, obviously. She's having all these existential crises. Like, also, I drew the picture that's next to her bed in college. There's that damned candle.
Yeah, it's a good thing to cut to. We're all doing the seance here.
I also get a little bit of special effects credit here. I figured out a way to add some spook. You know, really jazz it up right here with some movie magic. Won't give you the keys.
If you watch closely, I think people get confused because it's in such a wide shot. Mm-hmm. The glass moves on the planchette or whatever that fucking thing is called. Mm-hmm. For a Ouija board, it moves in the scene if you watch it closely, and that's what they're reacting to. Right here. Oh, well, not yet. But you'll see it. Keep your eyes on the center of that board, and it pops.
Yeah, we just like to spoon feed everyone, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta catch some stuff sometimes.
There it is. And this is probably my favorite shot of the film. I don't know why. I just really like that 3-shot with them in it. Colors look nice. It's a little dark.
That's my favorite shot.
Yeah.
Laura's just lost it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we were watching this the other day. With your roommate who had seen it for the first time, and that was his comment. He was like, "Oh, she's lost it now."
Yep, that shot. It's I know we both definitely take. We probably don't draw. We don't explicitly say it, or probably subconsciously. I know that noir is probably one of the biggest influences, and how we shape the little lighting we do.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I agree.
That all stems from like German expressionists. So I mean, that's definitely huge fans of that style. You can't deny it's in there, especially with a shot like that when half her face is out of the light and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and you know we're sort of at a place in our career or whatever you want to call it, where you know now we know how to do it. We know how to run a set and get things done and get them released, and now we're starting to really experiment more with things like lighting and things like that.
And the shanties. I haven't had this beer before. It's fantastic. Thank you, Calvin.
But yeah, I mean but that's where a lot of that lighting I think comes from, and it probably does come from noir and just sort of our education in film. You know,
we watch stuff like, I mean, when you're raised on Mystery Science, I thank Calvin for that. So unintentionally, you're watching old, 50s noir sometimes,
right? Yeah,
or even again, you're watching how not to make a movie, or what looks really fucking dumb sometimes.
Or I always think, especially when it comes to Mystery Science Theater, which is something that we started watching when we were really young, before we even knew this is really what we wanted to do. That's sort of what started the filmmaking shit. But
because we just thought it was so funny.
I think that you watch these quote unquote bad movies, but they're still movies, and you can kind of see what works. And I think that sometimes with a bad movie, you can see how it's done.
By the way, fun, not to interject, but every time you see Eric open something in a movie of ours, something's about to go down.
Right, yeah.
And the last movie he opens gets some pills, and this one he's just grabbing a brew.
Yeah, we always do this same shot with Eric.
Yeah.
With the camera
he looks
inside
good,
of something.
Confused. He has really good confused look. What am I looking for? You know, what are we all looking for?
And this music is done by Joel Whitehead.
And he was a longtime friend, and actually we got back together because of movies.
Yeah. We he's got a band, the New Jangles, and they're fantastic. You know, we put music. I think it's his music during the ending credits too.
Oh yeah, that song is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is really beautiful.
I can't actually. It was so good. I was like, what is it doing in our movie?
Yeah.
Because I get the vibe, like a Sunday matinee is also kind of a feeling I get in this movie. You know, it's kind of, maybe it's man, we live in the Northwest, but it's rainy a lot, but, you know, it's like I got all this other stuff to do, but I'm just going to sit here and watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it be at a theater or at home, you know, just kind of on your lazy day. So for lazy 12-year-old girls,
yeah, there you go.
Demographic. No, just anyone who likes a good wonder, a good thriller.
This was all pickup stuff.
As was this. This is our neighborhood gas station.
Yeah.
Frequent every day.
I live behind this gas station.
Well, I'll find Calvin, find this gas station.
And that's Josh.
Well,
that's
hand. Me. Yeah. That's my
it was
hand.
Your shoulder, too.
Uh-huh.
It was over your shoulder.
I'm slowly breaking into the industry. Just one body part at a time.
You're also in bedtimescaries.com.
I am. Yeah, like I said, just I'm on the other side.
As the flower
Let the pretty people
guy.
do their thing. I'll be here. That was actually my phone too.
Yeah.
In the scene.
This was really just a way to pad out the film. Believe it or not.
Also, here I get the opportunity to try those Steel Reserve. That's some good product placement. Literally the worst drink I would never ever consume. I've done it multiple occasions because I'm dumb.
We call them red pukes.
Yeah.
And that's because I cannot drink those without puking. They're gross. They're
that's
awful.
why I like about the scene. Sorry, Brian. I like that part of the scene the most. These nasty ass drinks in the background, actually, and fairly good focus too.
Yeah.
You can really read what it is.
Yeah, you can tell that it's a Steel Reserve, definitely.
No, I mean we couldn't make movies without like guerrilla style, but really we couldn't make them if people like our friends and really close acquaintances didn't also have some kind of connection to films because they want to help us out,
right?
You know, like the owners of the store, you know, or anyone that, you know, we shoot coffee shops or wherever.
Yeah.
Without them, we wouldn't be able to do this. So I'm very grateful for them.
And here's Brian leaving some voicemails on Laura's phone.
Yeah, how many voicemails are too much when you're interested in somebody, you know?
But kind of plays into the next scene because he continues to call her. So it was just an easy scene to go back and do and crowbar into the story. And I'm sure that's the way it probably feels.
But hey, that's movie magic, you know? You could shoot the last scene on the first day.
And, off topic, but playing on the radio in this scene is Christian and DJ and Lio. Very, very talented Portland-based band. Two brothers. We went to high school with.
Catch them in Vancouver.
Catch them in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Vancouver, Washington.
Yeah. Sorry, not... Yeah. The other Canada gets a lot more credit, but we're the first Canada I mean, when they first came in we're the first Washington. And as you can tell, their Vancouver has a much better public school system than ours, producing both Calvin and I.
Yes. Here's Laura. These shots right here were the ones that I was most nervous about. Coming back, like checking the dailies, there's a lot of correcting I had to do there with that, because this was just so towards the end. It just felt so rushed. We were just rushing to get it done.
I was running camera on this scene. It was kind of fun.
Yeah. Josh shot all this stuff with Laura and I. And the film has had a pretty decent opening week so far too. I mean, it's done better than our last film, which is all you can hope for.
Right behind. So Wonder Woman came out this week, just for historics. Made about $280 million. We're a close second.
Yeah.
Close. Well, we'll just say we're in the runnings.
Yeah, we have had a good opening weekend.
I couldn't be any happier.
Yeah, and we are up against Wonder Woman.
Yeah, exactly. I hope everyone. I have yet to see it,
which
but
I think that Laura is a much stronger female character.
I think that Laura should be the villain for Wonder Woman 2. Because she can play whatever part she wants.
Yeah, definitely. We tried to get a shot through that peephole.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Yeah, we probably should use a fisheye lens for that. So I imagine that's how they do it in the movies. But also kind of overdone. Don't always need that, you know?
There's Zach and that great makeup. We don't have a ton of it in the film, but that makeup definitely makes an appearance. And that was sort of a big thing for us was...
besides playing with the smoke machine.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
But having that... having a ghost that has a really distinct look was really... really cool to me. Because I didn't think that was necessarily going to happen. I had planned to do all of the ghost stuff with... the blackout suit, which is actually just a cheat from George Romero's short film on Two Evil Eyes. He sort of does the same thing, and just makes him transparent looking. But then Zach was able to do a really cool makeup, and it's cool that we have a creature. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's you could like Jason Voorhees and stuff like that.
Doesn't really have a name to him, which is cool.
No,
We'll let the people decide what he should be called.
Yeah, I think in the script it was just the shadow person.
We call him Zach more times than not. So.
Yeah, it's just Zach. He would fucking get ready
smoking
at his
a
house.
cig outside, just
dressed up as
the
this thing.
shit out of just nice people walking about their day.
And that shot there with Laura's eyes going white. Sort of an homage to Lucio Fulci, who's really big. I mean, I seriously think I have the next couple of days off. I think, honestly, after this, I'm probably going to watch a Fulci film. Because every time I watch something that we've done, I realize how much I steal, how much I try to copy Lucio Fulci. And, I love, his use of eyes in a film. Mm-hmm. And kind of the... what am I trying to say?
The senses and
it just kind of all comes full circle, you know.
Cyclical.
We watch a movie with our eyes, and it's a horror movie, so bad things happen to people's eyes. I love that, and I also just kind of love that look. And in a lot of Fulci films, you have the blind girl who's closer to the actor world, or the demon, happens all the time. The Beyond is the one that comes right to mind, but there are others.
Yeah, we're always, just taking from other people that inspire us, It's definitely music and all this goes into this. What scared us at this age, even though this is kind of, probably more directed towards girls.
Yeah.
I think
we tried to do that, and I hope that doesn't upset people. I know that I've said that to my girlfriend before. I've said, "Oh, this is great." I always think this is a great movie for girls. Talking about like Dario Argento's Phenomena and stuff like that. And sometimes you get looks like, "What the hell is that supposed to mean?" But I mean that in a really like sincere way.
Yeah.
That there's a target audience there, and making like the girl the hero, also not having her being saved by anybody. She can save herself.
Well, there's like real things that she has to deal with that. She doesn't have time to be like courted by all these other guys, and this, you could argue it is mostly about her brother, but there's always other things that she just doesn't know how to deal with.
Right.
So she really has to buckle down and kind of let it overcome her, and then she learns, or does she by the end,
Here's the twist here, is that she's actually in love with her brother.
So he definitely does play a part. We definitely aren't, but it's really, I would say, comical, because we both actually have sisters, and
younger sisters
right. At that. So that also wasn't really an influence. It was just
it just seemed like a nice shocking twist that nobody was going to see coming. And with one of the main things is one thing you hear about independent films, horror films, all the time with twists, are people saying, "Oh, I saw that one coming from a mile away," and a lot of times you do. I mean, I was at Crypticon this year, and with a lot of those short films, it's like you could have scripted that in your sleep, that twist. I saw that coming, and this one generally seems to take people through a loop.
Yeah.
And it does explain why she's so obsessed with it and why she feels so guilty about it. And then it was really important to not comment on it one way or the other, not comment on it as a good thing or a bad thing. It just sort of is.
I'm not pro that, but right. But as far as the film goes, it is something she has to deal with.
It just seemed like, it really, to be honest, a big place of where it comes from is the Edgar Allan Poe short story Bernice, where it's the guy who's obsessed, I think, with his cousin. But she has perfect teeth, and then she dies with a perfect set of teeth. And
they always get away.
And he digs her up and pulls her perfect teeth out of her dead body. And I remember reading it in high school, because everybody has like the big book of Edgar Allan Poe stuff, and I don't know, people would say that it's like it has to do with virginity and stuff, and didn't really. That's my Fulci shot, by the way, with her looking with those eyes. I mean, she definitely.
She cannot see anything through this. Yeah.
Yeah, she was blind. We had to walk her around. And there you go. The revelation of the film is just talk to your mother.
At the end of the day, just talk to your loved ones. Spend some time with them.
Yeah.
Or else this might happen.
Yeah.
That's the horror part.
You might get haunted by a demon.
Yeah,
for sure.
Zach might dress up. It took 6 hours for that makeup.
Yeah.
For him to do. So, he would be pissed off if you made him get all dressed up to haunt you for a weekend or two.
Yeah, and like I said, this music is done by Joel Whitehead, a friend of ours from high school, who's a really, really talented guy. And just fucking loved this song. I mean, from the first moment I heard it, I thought, this is the ending credits.
Check them out, because we're talking through this song, which you should listen to, but seriously, I heard the song when I was in another room, blew my mind. I had to stop what I was doing and listen to him. So talented. So fucking cool. Such a cool guy.
Yeah, really, really nice guy.
Way cooler than both of us, combined, so...
this movie is a breeze, it's only 61 minutes, so definitely make sure that you watch it without the audio commentary. I can't imagine too many people are listening to this, but
if you did this whole time, you should probably get back to what you were doing beforehand.
Yeah.
Maybe go outside and... Yeah.
Best boy, Dayton Brown.
Yep. Mad props.
Yeah, I hope that maybe we were a little informative here and could shed a little bit of light as to what this film was about, or what the hell we're about.
Was Dan Stewart a PA on this?
Dan Stewart did show up.
He fucking did.
Remember when he showed up?
I do.
He was there for a day or two.
You know what? And he always helps on every set. He makes every set slow down 100% because we were always just laughing too hard.
Yeah.
We get back to work, we end up making stuff, but he is just so funny.
Yeah, that Sack Joe is the guy on Creative Commons.
Weird.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Cameron Devine's great. Jeff Crenshaw. Mr. Jeff, he is a great person. Cameron Devine is a really, really talented filmmaker friend of ours. Andy Bluebaugh's first person who ever casted me in a film. Obviously, the employees of Village Vendor. We always give a very special thanks to the Teachers of America. We appreciate you. We really do. Thank you guys so much for sitting here and listening to this and watching the movie with us. I hope you guys stick around for more 7th Street Productions.
There's more to come.
Definitely check out our YouTube page. Find us on Facebook.
Subscribe.
Definitely subscribe. Drop a like. Send us a message telling us how much you hated the film, or if you liked the film.
If you want to be in a movie.
If you want to help out.
If you want to give us all your money.
We fucking love talking to people, especially about horror movies. So definitely hit us up. All right, guys.
Bad movies for bad people. We love you.
Until next time.